What's up again on this Friday evening? This is your House of Orange. Tennessee versus Auburn basketball preview. We're getting back into what was kind of our strong suit when this channel started out January 1st of 2024. Kind of built on those previews, kind of gotten away from it a little bit. We're going to get back into it. Or I say, wait, I'm going to get back into previews because that's the game and that's how we're going to roll with it. Tennessee, Auburn. Tennessee 6th in the country. Auburn number 1. Number 1. It's a big one tomorrow night. College game day. The first ESPN basketball college game day of the year will be at Auburn. The game tips tomorrow night. I think I seen 8:30. It's kind of an odd time. Normally it's 8, but from what I've seen, 8:30. But Bruce Pearl, Rick Barnes, two of the best that there is. And, you know, we can sit here and say what we want about Bruce Pearl all day long. Guy is a phenomenal coach. He's a phenomenal coach. He didn't leave Knoxville because he couldn't coach. And if you look back on what he did now, you know, then versus now, yeah, he got let go for basically nothing. But that's what happens when you have a weak admin. But let's get into this thing. Y'all hear about preview, not tall tales and reminiscing about the old days. So Barnes, Pearl, you got two of the best teams in the country right here. I think right now, based on what we've seen, Auburn so far has looked like the best team in the nation. Now, the question in this game is going to be, does Johni Broome play tomorrow night? I've seen, you know, in articles that I've read that Bruce Pearl says he's a game time decision. My guess is he plays tomorrow night. A guy who everybody's competitors, I feel, and I hope he plays. I hope he does. Now, I don't say that meaning that's good news for Tennessee. I don't mean that by any stretch of the imagination. I say that because when you I hate to see guys out for injury. Does not matter who we're playing. It does not matter. I want to face the best. And I want to see Tennessee face. Now, will Broome be 100% if he plays? Possibly not. Probably not. But still yet, I'm hoping he's well enough he's able to play tomorrow night. Big game for Tennessee. Can Tennessee get this big road win? You had the loss at Florida. You had the freaking loss against Vanderbilt on the road last weekend. Can this team bounce back on it? I'm going to give a prediction at the end of the video here, and it'll be a little different than my norm on predictions for any of you that follow me. But looking at this game, I'm looking at Ken Pom rankings right now. Auburn, according to Ken Pom, 2nd in the nation. Tennessee, 6th in the nation. Ken Pom has Duke ranked number 1 over Auburn, but the actual polls have Auburn 1. Auburn ranks 1st offensively, according to Ken Pom, 1st in offensive rating. Tennessee, 22nd, even though there's been kind of some dry spells here. This is one of the better offenses Rick Barnes has fielded. So, I mean, we can say what we want about it. I mean, you got to be encouraged, I think, based on the Mississippi State game. They dominated Mississippi State. And the big thing, the key is, and I've said this on here with Chaz Lanier, if Chaz comes out and hits his first shot, he's going to go on a roll. If he doesn't, as we've seen in some games, he struggles a little bit. But I was encouraged in that Vanderbilt game, the second half. I felt like Chaz come alive. And, man, I'm telling you, I hated it that so many fans were hard on Chaz that he cost them that game. He absolutely did not cost Tennessee that Vanderbilt game. He might have missed that free throw. That free throw was not the difference in that basketball game. We're not even in that basketball game without what Chaz Lanier did in the second half. But too many people are short-sighted about it. I saw a guy one time, he come into my comments and said, oh, you criticize the people listening. Yeah, I will. I have no problem with it. I'll call it like I see it. If you're short-sighted and you're blaming Chaz Lanier for that Vanderbilt loss, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? Yeah, he missed the free throw, but it didn't come down to that. It might have come down to that free throw. That free throw was not the difference in the game. And I bet you if you go ask Rick Barnes, he'll tell you that free throw wasn't the difference in it either. But you've got to be encouraged on what he did. And I think another encouragement for me has been the continued progress of Felix Okpara. He hit that three on that. Man, he looked smooth shooting it. And I laughed at Rick Barnes saying, if I'm Felix Okpara, I never take another one. I finished with a perfect 3-point percentage. But, man, based on how smooth he looked on it, does this guy have potential to have a mid-range game or something? All we've heard about is all he can do is score on the rim. I expected him to throw up a three looking like Shaq out there throwing up threes in the old All-Star games, or him or Dikembe Mutombo. But, no, he looked pretty smooth shooting that three. For me, what I need to see is Zakai Ziegler do his thing, stay out of foul trouble with it. We need Meshack around 10 points, but do his thing defensively. He's going to do that. Chaz has got to have a decent – he doesn't have to have 25, 30 points, but I think he needs to at least be in that 15 to 20 range with it. I want to see a little more out Igor Milicic, and I love him. I love his game. He scored 16 at Vanderbilt. I want to see a guy who's playing inside out, not just content on the outside shot. He's excellent when he drives to the rim. Do that. We need something out of Gainey. Now, you're going to need a lot to win this game this weekend. The biggest thing is stay out of foul trouble. And the biggest thing, too, now we'll get into team stats in this game. Auburn on the season averages 86.6 points per game. Opponents, 66. I compare that with Tennessee. Tennessee averages 76.4, but their opponents only scored 58.6. The biggest thing I want to look at here is Tennessee, on average, averages 38.5 rebounds per game. They out-rebound their opponents by a margin of 7.8 rebounds per game. Auburn, on the other hand, let's get down to it. They average 38 per game. Opponents 31.8, 6.2 rebound per difference margin. Pretty close. For me, if Tennessee's going to have a shot in this game, they've got to win the rebounding battle. That's to me the big one. If Auburn wins the rebounding battle, Auburn will win handily in this game, in my opinion, on it. If I look now, I'll look at some of the shooting percentages here. Tennessee shoots 34.9% from three-point. Their opponents shoot 25.9%. Auburn, on the other hand, shoots 37.9%. Their opponents shoot 30%. That encourages me a little bit because, and I'll look at those Ken Palm rankings as well defensively, Tennessee ranks 3rd. Auburn ranks 21st on it. There's a little bit, but your discrepancies kind of even out with the offensive ratings, with the defensive ratings as well. Of course, the question's going to be, does Broome play? But the thing with Auburn as well is they have 6 dudes who average double-digit points on it. So it doesn't all just come down to Broome. They're still a really good team without Broome. You got Baker Mazzara, you got Pettiford, you got Kelly, Jones, Johnson. All of them average 10 points or greater per game. Rebounds, Broome averages a double-double per game. Chaney Johnson averages 10 points, 5.5 points per game along the line. You look at assists here. With all this, Broome's your leading assist guy too. It'll definitely help Tennessee a lot if Broome doesn't play. But again, I hope he does. And I don't say that disrespectfully as well. I say it as I want the best to play. I want to face the best. And Broome's one of the best in college basketball. There's no doubt about it. I hope he's well enough where he's able to play. Now, if I look at it, I don't really see a big advantage for Tennessee in this game. I'm not going to lie on that one. Shooting percentages, maybe. That's one that stands out a bit. I mean, like I said, Tennessee shoots a little less from three-point, but they don't allow opponents to shoot as high as Auburn does. Now, field goal percentage, Tennessee's right at 46%. Auburn, on the other hand, Auburn's close to 51%. They allow 39%. So the difference for me in this, Auburn averages 18 assists per game. Tennessee averages 16. turnovers per game, Auburn, Auburn forces right at just slightly under 12 per game. Tennessee is forcing about 11, or I'm sorry, just under 14 per game. There's your differences to me. And just a slight edge. Turnovers, defense. Tennessee's much better defensively. Can that be the difference tomorrow night? Now look at Auburn's height. Here, you got Pettiford 6'1". I've not watched a single Auburn game, so if I mispronounce some of these, I apologize. Pegues is normally how that's pronounced. 6'2", Jones 6'4", Howard 6'6", Broome 6'10", Baker Mazzara 6'7". He's 6'7", 180, so it's not – he's a tall, lanky dude. So he's not going to get in here and bruise. Chaney Johnson is more of your bruiser, 6'7", 225 along the way. And then Cardwell, it looks like. I'm trying to see how much he may play here as well. He's a big dude here for Auburn. Also, looks like he plays a little bit. So can Okpara, can Milicic, can Cade Phillips, can Dubar do their thing? They're going to have to. You got to stay out of trouble with it. Best team Tennessee's faced all year. It's on the road. It's going to be a hostile environment tomorrow night. That crowd's going to be fired up with it. When it's all said and done, when I look at this game, you guys know me and know how I normally pick. I normally rarely go against Tennessee. I normally rarely go against them. I think that it will be a lower scoring game in Tennessee, the way Tennessee likes to play. I do feel tomorrow night Tennessee will bring it. I feel they'll bring a good game. And I hope I'm wrong. I think it's going to be – I'm going to go Auburn 75, Tennessee 70 tomorrow night on this one. And if Tennessee can hold them down lower, I like Tennessee's chances in this game. But to me, I just think Auburn's got more. I think they've got more offensively. And I know Tennessee's better defensively, but the discrepancy's not – it's around 20, a ranking of 20 if you look at Ken Palm. But, it's not like Auburn is a slouch on defense. They still play pretty good defense there as well. But, we'll see, man. We'll see. This is a tough one. But it would be huge for Tennessee. If you want to win the SEC, and again, your grand scheme is win a national championship. So winning the SEC is not the be-all, end-all. But you still want to win it. I'm not one of the – I don't subscribe to the notion of, well, if we're the top one, everybody, we're going to have a target on our back. If you're ranked high, you're going to have a target on your back. It doesn't matter if you're first in the conference or if you're last. It just does. If you're ranked high, you're ranked high. If you're a program that's thought very highly of and gets, propped up a lot, you're going to have a target on your back. I think the number one target on your back is overrated. I do. I think teams are getting up for these bigger teams regardless of it. And I would venture to say Auburn's going to be up tomorrow night. I mean, Tennessee's beaten them recently. They host this time. They're going to want to get revenge from last year where Tennessee beat them, and Tennessee went on to win the SEC championship with it. But that's all I got here for tonight. Make sure I talked some football earlier tonight. I'll link that at the end. And we've released all 6 parts of our baseball preview, or I've released them. I did part of it. Carrie did part of it as well. I hope you'll check that out as well. Have a great rest of your evening. Frank, House of Orange. Go Vols.